which is Cincinnati, Ohio. If you guys ever do have any questions, Detroit's number 2. If you guys ever do have any questions, my business card is on the laser. So please feel free to call, text, or email me with any questions. I know sometimes the setup can be a little bit confusing, so you can also FaceTime me, okay? Just text me before you FaceTime. Good? All right, so starting off with this laser, I'm going to start off with the Micromanipulator. Now, the Micromanipulator is what is going to attach to the microscope itself. Now, on this Micromanipulator, you're going to see this big knob right here, okay, with that little red dot. On that big knob, it's going to have a range of numbers from 400 all the way down to 200. Now, what those numbers represent is the objective lens of the microscope. So typically for ENT procedures, the objective lens is 400. So I would want that number 400 to be as close as possible to that little red dot. Now, if the doctor is looking through the microscope and they're saying that the beam is just not as focused as they want it to be, even though the objective lens is 400, the actual working distance may be like 390 or 395. So a small adjustment to that big knob goes a long way into tightening up the beam for the doctor. Now, also on here, you're going to have this little smaller knob with the word focus all the way up to the number 10 with that little silver dot. Anytime that the doctor is actively wanting to treat the patient, they want that little silver dot to be on the word focus. And then if they were to have some type of little bleed that were to occur where they want to cause a coagulation effect, all they have to do is move that little silver dot to about the number 2, 3, or 4. That'll defocus the laser energy and cause a coagulation effect. Once it is sealed, they can go right back down to focus and then start to retreat the patient, okay? Now you can also, the doctor's going to be using this little joystick right here to move the little mirror around, and that's what's going to be directing the laser energy all around the field, okay? Now in order to hook this thing up, you're going to have this little bracket right here, and that is going to marry perfectly into the little bracket on the microscope. I do have to tell you, you got a lot of microscopes back there. Not all of them have this bracket on there. So if you know that the doctor wants to use this accessory, make sure that you have this microscope with this bracket on it, okay? Now, in order to hook it up, like I said, you are just going to place it directly in there. You're not going to slide it in from the top or from the bottom. You're just going to put it in like a puzzle piece, and then you are going to push down until it is fully seated. Once it is fully seated, I'm going to twist this little silver knob right here to the right, and that'll securely lock it into place. Now, I always make sure that I have at least one hand on the micromanipulator at all times just to make sure that it's not loose. And at the end, when I have it secured, I give it a little jiggle just to make sure that it's not, loose, okay? Any questions on the setup of that? No? All right. Now, the other accessory that you can use with this laser, this thing is called a scanner. Now, what this thing does is it allows the laser to make different shapes. So without the scanner, all you're going to get is a little tiny dot. But with the scanner, you can still get a little tiny dot. You can get a bigger dot, a straight line, a curve to the left, and a curve to the right, which allows for a lot greater precision for the doctor. All right. Now, there's going to be a couple of key entry points on this scanner. So you're going to have this little phone jack right here. All right. And then you are going to have this other little connection port right here. On this connection port right here, if you were to look closely, there's going to be 2 little ridges and also like a little red line, which is going to come into play when I actually show you the connection port. There you go. All right. So this, I'm sorry, I'm a clown. But this only goes on one way. So if you were to try to put this on incorrectly, it just won't fit, okay? So try the other way. Now, once I have it fully seated on there, the base of this will spin. So I'm going to twist that to the right to fully lock it into place. Now, you guys remember that phone jack that was on the scanner? That's where this telephone cord comes into play. So I will put this into the scanner and you will hear a little click. So that lets me know that's fully in place. And then on the back of the laser, you're going to have this long black communication cord. There you are. And on that communication cord, there's going to be a little red dot with 2 little ridges, and that's where it's going to line up with the little red dot and the 2 ridges on the scanner itself. Okay, so I will find that, and I will push it all the way in, and then you will actually kind of hear a little tiny bit of a click. That lets you know that you're fully in. If sometimes when you assemble this and it's not all the way in and you start the laser up, the doctor may see like a crescent moon shape or something like that. My first thing that I'm going to check is to make sure that this is fully plugged in, because that can cause like some communication issues. All right. Now, is there any questions on the setup of all this? I'm about to hook the arm up to it. No? Y'all awake? Okay, cool. All right. So, taking the arm out, there is a wrong way and there is a right way to do it, and I'm going to show you both ways. So the correct way to do this is right up here at the top, there is going to be like this little silver lock button, and it's going to have a little green button that says push to unlock. So I will push to unlock it, and you're going to notice that the arm starts to wiggle around a little bit. Now also over here on the side, there's going to be like this little tiny door. I'm going to push that door directly up to the side of the laser. And now the most important step of taking the laser arm out is swing it directly towards the back of the laser, and then you can release it from the rest of the clips. Now the reason why we swing it out from directly towards the back is that right up here, there's going to be a little sticker that says up. If that is pointing down, the mirrors inside of the arm are probably going to be going in a funky position, and it's not going to be getting the doctor the effect on the tissue that they want. So how I see people take the arm out incorrectly is right here. So I will see them kind of let the top of this go away from them, and they will take it out towards the side, and now that little sticker is going to be pointing down, okay? So to prevent that from happening, always swing the laser arm directly towards the back, and then you can swing it around in any direction that you want, right?
Is it possible to put stickers on the side that say pull arm with arrows pointing back?
You can do whatever you want. Yeah, no, honestly, I see.
I don't.
It's a good suggestion. It's a
I see a
possibility.
lot of people, like they label the heck out of these things. So, and also I do have step-by-step instructions on how to do all this with like pictures and everything. And the coolest part about that document is that it's my hand in the pictures. So that's pretty cool. So in order to hook the laser arm up to the scanner, you're just going to put it in the only spot that it's able to fit. So I will put it in that one, and then I will twist it to the right until it is fully secure, and then we're all good to go. Okay? And then obviously this thing can be wherever the doctor is going to be using it, right? Now the other accessory that you can use with this laser is called a fiber lace fiber. Now the fibers, they are one size, so you don't have to go rooting around for different shapes and all that stuff. And then what you're going to use with the fiber is something called a fiber lace handpiece. Now this is the short one, obviously, but they come in many different shapes and sizes. Now when the fiber lace handpieces come up to you into the sterile field, they should come in 3 separate pieces. They should come with the handpiece itself, they should come with the locking cap, and they should also come separated with the little silicone insert right here. If they are sent up all together, like already assembled, they are technically considered contaminated, and I would not recommend to use that during the procedure, okay? So how you are going to assemble this, and again, this silicone insert, that is not disposable, it is reusable. So I will take the handpiece that the doctor wants to use, and I will insert the little silicone part. And then I will take the locking cap, and then I will lightly screw on the locking cap. And then from there, and again, that's all done sterile, the doctor or the scrub tech will insert the fiber until it comes out about 3 to 5 millimeters out of the tip, and then they will twist the little locking cap until it is securely in place. Then the doctor can just use it like a little wand, all right? Now where this is actually going to screw into is in the back of the laser right here. So there's like a little flap, you're going to lift that up, and then you're just going to screw the fiber in. And then also, most importantly, you're going to extend this little telescope back here, and then you're going to, feed the fiber through that little pigtail. The reason why we want that to be done is because that is a hollow cord fiber, And if the first 12 inches of the fiber are as straight as possible, you're going to be getting the most energy transmission out to the tip. The more that the fiber is coiled or, kind of drooping a little bit, you're going to be losing a lot of laser energy. So having this little telescope out will help prevent that from happening. Okay? No, so like the scrub tech will hand it over to the laser operator, like the this part.
The other half.
Yeah. Yeah, the other half is not sterile. Correct. Good question. All right. Are there any questions about assembly of the fiber handpiece or anything?
You said the silicone insert was reusable, but the entire handpiece is not?
No. So this the fiber is single use.
Okay.
Everything else is reusable. Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
The little black cartridge that you hooked onto the microscope at the start.
This one?
Yeah, where does that live?
It's in this box, which is right next door. Like it was.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like on the bottom shelf.
Okay.
And the same with the scanner. So the scanner is going to be in this little box, and they are right next to each other, right in that little room next door. Okay. Yes.
You have to use the scanner with it, right? Like both those pieces need to be connected for it to work.
That depends on if the doctor wants to use a shape. If the doctor does not want to use a shape, you don't even got to hook the scanner up or that black cord. All you would have to do is hook the laser arm directly to where you put the scanner, and that'll work that way. Yeah, but then if you do it that way, the doctor can't get shape. So sometimes in the middle of the case, they're like, "Oh, can I get a straight line?" And you're like, "Well, hang on, I got to shut the laser down, put all that on, and do all that." So I always recommend to always hook this up just in case, mid-case, the doctor wants to try a shape or use it. It's already hooked up. Okay. These are all great questions. This is a good crowd. Any other inquiries? I can't even say that word. Any other questions? Inquiries. All right.
You're doing it.
So one important thing
4
about
more minutes
yes,
in.
okay.
Yeah.
One important thing about this like micromanipulator and the scanner is that you always want to hook it up before turning the laser on, and likewise you want to shut the laser down before taking it apart. So make sure that the laser is off when hooking it up and taking it apart. So in order to start this laser up, number one, plug it in. Number two, insert the key and turn it to the right like you were starting up a car. One important safety thing about lasers in general is that the key should never be kept in, with, or around the laser. That is actually one of the biggest fines that OSHA can hand out. And then also make sure that you have the proper laser safety sign hanging outside of each door that enters into the OR, because that is something that JCO and OSHA will check when they make their rounds, is that the sign on the door matches the laser that's in use. So this is a CO2 laser. So on the signs, like you'll see a little laser burst. Underneath that little laser burst, it'll tell you CO2 laser, 10,600 nanometers, etc. But if you're ever working with a laser and you have no clue what kind of laser you're working with, typically somewhere on the laser there's going to be a little yellow sticker, and on that sticker is going to tell you all the specifics about the laser that you need to know, and that's going to match what's on the laser safety sign as well. Okay, we'll run through this this whole thing in about 2.5 minutes because I think that's all I got. So y'all ready to rumble? Okay. All right. I'm sorry if I offended anybody by saying Cincinnati is the best city in the world, but you know. All right. Hey, I'm a Michigan fan though. All right, so from the home screen, you're going to see basic and you're going to see surgical. The only time that you will go into surgical is if you are using the scanner, which is making the shapes. But if you are not using the scanner at all, go ahead into basic. Now from the basic screen on the left-hand side, you're going to see CW and UP. That's how the energy is delivered. So CW is going to, the energy is going to constantly be on the tissue and create a lot more thermal spread, which is good for ablations. And UP stands for ultra pulse, which has a high peak power. So that's going to be on and off of the tissue quickly, creating a cutting effect. And then below that, you're going to see single, repeat, and constant, which has to do with the foot pedal. So if I'm on single, you're going to see time on. So how long is the energy on the tissue? I can step on the foot pedal for 10 years. It's only going to fire one single time and be on the tissue for however long I have it set for, and then be done. To get the same effect, I got to take my foot off and then press back down again. For repeat, you will see time on and time off. So how long is the energy on the tissue? How long is the energy off of the tissue? So as long as my foot's on the foot pedal, it'll go on the tissue, off, until I take my foot off. And then under constant, there is no time on or time off, because as long as my foot's on the foot pedal, the laser will continue to fire. Now, if the doctor is wanting to use the fiber, you'll go into the basic mode, and up in the top left-hand corner, you will see free beam and fiber. Just hit fiber. Once I hit fiber, the blue light right down at the base of the arm will turn off, and then it'll turn on right back here. That lets me know that the laser energy will be coming out of the fiber, okay? Now, the surgical portion of this, if I hit the surgical from the home screen, it's going to bring up some specialties: ENT, gynecology, neuro, and general. I will hit ENT. And then up at the top, it's going to have a list of locations. I will hit larynx. And then it's going to have some accessories: digital AccuBlade 400 or digital AccuBlade 350. What the digital AccuBlade is just a fancy name for the Micromanipulator plus the scanner, okay? So I will hit the digital AccuBlade 400 and then hit treatment. Now the screen is the exact same. So you're still going to have single, repeat, and constant. You're still going to have continuous wave and ultra pulse. One of the biggest differences, you can change the shape. So in order to change the shape from a little dot, just press the plus button, and it'll cycle through the shapes on whatever the one the doctor wants. And then you can adjust the shape size according to whatever the doctor wants. Another big difference is instead of time on tissue, it's going to have passes. So how many times is it making the shape? So if I have passes on 2 and I'm on single, I can press my foot on the foot pedal and it's going to make the shape twice and then be done. To get the same effect, I got to take my foot off and then press back down again. And then repeat, you got the passes on 2 right now. So if I press and hold my foot on the foot pedal, it'll be on the tissue, make the shape twice, be off for 0.5, make the shape twice, off for 0.5, so on and so forth. Now all these settings right here, that is completely up to the doctor. So that is not up to us to type in the settings and say, hey, here you go. Always make sure that you ask the doctor exactly what settings that they want. Make sure that you plug it in correctly, read it back to the doctor and say, hey, here's what I have you at. When you are ready, you can hit ready in the bottom right-hand corner. When they're not, hit standby in the bottom right-hand corner, okay? Any questions? Probably a lot, but.
Thank you.
And again,